It's the MasterChef quarter-final. And this week's 4 best cooks are back.
Actually, it doesn't feel real. I have pinched myself a couple of times, to be honest. I am very excited.
This competition is so intense, but I'm enjoying every second and I just want to keep going.
It means everything to me to do well today. The competition, I think, is really pushing my creativity.
I absolutely cannot believe that I'm here. It's just been like I'm in some sort of weird MasterChef dream.
Tonight, they will face just one challenge: to cook an exceptional dish from a brief set by renowned restaurant critic Grace Dent.
This is the first quarter-final. We've got ourselves 4 crackingly good cooks.
Today, they're fighting it out for 2 semi-final places. It's massive.
Welcome back and congratulations. We want to see more skill, we want to see more creativity, we want to see more of what you've done to get you here. This is a big day. So, we have invited a special guest in here to help us judge. I now want to introduce you to restaurant critic, the formidable Grace Dent.
Hello. So my brief today is that I want you to cook me a great British pudding, like sticky toffee pudding, jam roly-poly, the kind of thing my grandmother would have made me, but make it innovative, restaurant quality, and something that I can't stop going back for more.
You have 90 minutes, and we have 2 semi-final places up for grabs. Ladies and gentlemen, let's cook.
The thing I love about old-fashioned puddings is that they are non-negotiably satisfying. They're not fancy, they're not standing on parade, and it's like a hug, and that's why I love that type of pudding. What I'm looking for today is a really, really traditional pudding. But I do need to see some type of twist or imagination. On some level, I think this could be the greatest day of my life.
Come on, stick. Don't have time.
Madiha is a family cook whose food is generous, bold, and I say courageous. What I'm really endeared by is you don't cook for 1 or 2. You cook today like you're cooking for a whole family.
I can't cook small portions.
We have seen some fantastic spicing.
But so far, we haven't seen a pud from her.
Cooking for a very famous critic, it makes me feel a little bit nervous. They can either make you or break you with their comments, so yes, pressure is on.
Madiha, tell me, please, what you think of this brief.
It's very lovely, comfy, cozy. We all have a very sweet tooth at my home. My husband has got a very savagely intense sweet tooth.
Savage?
Yes.
Oh, I like the idea of a savage sweet tooth. Even I've never had one of them.
What's happening? What are you cooking?
I'm making you a pear upside-down sticky toffee pudding. Top layer will be of caramelized pear, and in the bottom will be the sticky toffee sponge.
So you're making me something I've never seen before in my entire life.
I just came up with it after this brief. Trust me. They're both 70s classics, very loved at home.
It feels a little bit, this is either going to be genius or it's going to be like just 2 pages of the recipe book were glued together.
Hopefully not.
Pear upside down sticky toffee pudding. Wow. That is one extraordinary sweet thing. Pears themselves are very, very sweet. She's then caramelised them in brown sugar. We've also got a ginger and pear ice cream and tweels.
Oh, everything.
Medea's doing a huge amount of work. But the big thing I'm concerned about right now is that large cake being cooked all the way through.
Don't let me down, please.
Tom is young, enthusiastic, and his food is modern, but taking on very complex techniques. As an amateur, doing what you're doing and the execution of it, Tom, I'm really impressed.
Thank you.
Tom loves the flavours of Japan and Southeast Asia. I suppose I'm wondering whether he can get those flavours into a British pudding.
When I got the brief for this dish, I was a little bit nervous because traditional is not really my bag. But when I knew I could put a twist on it, I thought that's a good way to show what I'm all about. So I'm doing a sticky toffee pudding with a tamarind and black pepper toffee sauce, a salted peanut kind of tweel, and a toasted rice ice cream.
You had me until you started saying black pepper. Did I mishear you?
No, I think black pepper really complements the flavours of tamarind, so I'm just trying to experiment a little bit.
So it's a sticky toffee pudding as I would recognise it if I was in a gastro pub. What does it look like?
So it'll look very much like a sticky toffee pudding. I'm doing the puddings in these small pudding moulds. And the sauce will look like something you're very familiar with, but the taste perhaps won't be something that you're familiar with.
What is your biggest fear while you're cooking this today?
At the moment, my biggest fear is hoping that the ice cream sets in time.
It wouldn't be the first time here that I've been served, well, quite frankly, slop.
A pool of ice cream.
Can you bring Asian flavours into a British pudding successfully?
We'll soon see, won't we?
I think if anyone can, Tom can, Grace.
I trust you implicitly
I
at the
hope so.
moment. Do not let me down.
Sticky toffee pudding is a family favourite. It's what we always have after Sunday dinner. It's what all my family orders if it's on a menu in a restaurant. I hope I've not strayed too far away from it, and the judges can still identify it as a great sticky toffee pudding.
We've got a tamarind and black pepper toffee sauce. Tamarind is sharp and sour, and the black pepper is warming. Sour and spicy sauce across your pudding, it may be a little bit too much. On the side, we've got roast rice ice cream. Rice, when you roast it, it goes almost like popped rice, breakfast cereal. It actually sounds really good.
You've got 55 minutes left. It's tense.
Steph's food is influenced by her mother, who's Thai, and her father, who's British. And so we've got this extraordinary fusion going on. Salty soy with the sharpness of the vinegar and the lime juice, it works really, really well.
What are you making for us today?
I am making a sticky toffee pudding with a miso caramel sauce, vanilla custard, and little poached apples, because that saltiness and sweetness from the caramel just needs that little bit of acidicness to cut through it.
Sounds absolutely delicious. What has it got to look like on the plate? Is it going to be quite a comforting thing to look at? Is it quite stodgy, or is it quite delicate and you know, restaurant standard?
It's quite like probably English pub sort of vibe. Obviously a sticky toffee, you can't like mess around with it. It's just pudding, sauce, custard. There's not a lot else to like show off.
Why did you choose a sticky toffee?
I chose sticky toffee because it's the nation's favourite. Like, everyone I know loves a sticky toffee. You don't know anyone that doesn't.
Well, it smells absolutely incredible.
Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy it. I am slightly concerned that 3 of us are doing sticky toffee puddings. They all sound really different, so I'm just hoping they like mine the best.
Steph, she's got apples, which she's taken into little balls, and she's poaching with ginger and apple juice. Well, those bits of poached fruit need to be really lovely and soft, but still keep their shape. This lovely sticky toffee pudding is then going to be covered in a miso caramel sauce. Miso, which is fermented bean paste. So you're going to get a salty caramel, and I think that could be great.
You've got 30 minutes left, please. Laura excites me because she seems to be so versatile. The first round, we got something inspired by India. I think this is a fabulous dish. In the second round, we saw something very, very Scottish, including haggis and whiskey.
The bonbon's wonderful. This is a good dish.
And right now, there isn't a single dish that Laura has done that I haven't adored.
I think I'm loving the pressure, which is really strange. I was happy about the brief. I love desserts. I'm a big committed dessert eater. And I really wanted to stick true to my favourite dessert, so that's what I'm doing today.
Laura's making for us a crumble. We've got apples, raspberries and blackberries. The whole thing served with a jug of custard. We have a modern twist, sweet pickled plums. But then we've also got some caramelised plums going around this outside as well. We all had a crumble. Crumbles are great. It needs to be elegant, it needs to be sophisticated, but it needs to keep the heart and soul of what the classic British pudding is.
Where do you stand on the ratio of the crumble to the fruit?
There's never enough crumble for me. I always need second crumble, so I'm doing a 2-layered crumble.
How does that work?
There's going to be crumble, fruit, crumble, and caramelised plums on the top.
It's a double-decker crumble.
It's like a crumble sandwich.
Just to clarify, you're not deconstructing this crumble,
No.
are you? Some of the saddest times I've had in this kitchen is when the word deconstruction comes up.
I'm a complete traditionalist when it comes to crumble. It's not deconstructed, it still has all the good bits, but there's that extra crunch.
How do you pretty up a crumble?
You'll see the plum slices look like a flower.
Do you think you could serve this at a restaurant?
I hope so.
Can you really improve in a crumble? The point of crumble is that it should have quite a nice crisp top. I think that the problem will be that in making a sandwich, the top will be lovely, but the bottom could just collapse. It could be squidgy, it could be too much.
Guys, everybody, you got about 7 minutes.
I think that what I've heard so far has been music to my ears. I will say, though, some of them have set themselves an enormous task, and I can see problems already. They all want a semi-final place. One of the hardest things about being here is breaking people's hearts.
Just 3 minutes. 3 minutes, please, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the fiddly bit.
Don't let me down.
Yes.
Thank you.
Take your time. Pretty good if they stay together. Disaster or not disaster?
I'd like it a little bit firmer, but it's ice cream and not sauce.
60 seconds. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Don't know if I've poured a little bit too much on, but I mean, Who doesn't love salted caramel?
Time's up. Stop. Laura, please.
Laura's take on a traditional British pudding is a double-layered apple and mixed berry crumble on thinly sliced pickled plums, topped with caramelised plums, and served with a vanilla custard.
I'm really impressed because this is the smartest looking crumble I've ever seen.
You've just delivered my Gran's crumble. The crumble to fruit ratio, this is what is ingenious. When you get to the bottom, there is another layer of warm, buttery, crumbly crumble. Your custard's incredible, the kind of custard that is my downfall. I've eaten half of this like a wild animal. It's delicious.
This very much works for me. I think it's very, very cleverly done. You've cooked the soft fruit down a little bit and it's not too sharp, but it's the lovely, luxurious, vanilla-packed, creamy custard that brings the sweetness. Very, very, very good indeed.
I think that is delicious. I love the flavour of it. The pickled plums are inspired because the little sharpness of those plums just takes away from the sweetness of the crumble. I really, really like it. I really like it.
I'm absolutely elated. I really didn't expect that to happen. I just can't believe this is happening. I can't believe they liked it that much.
Madiha, please, we want to taste your pudding.
Madiha has made a pear upside-down cake with a spiced sticky toffee pudding sponge, autumn leaf tuile biscuits, a pear and ginger ice cream with a pear crisp, and a sticky toffee sauce.
I've just got to say this is so beautiful. There's something really moving about it. It's like kicking leaves through a park on an autumn day. It's gorgeous.
Oh, yum. Your sponge cake is nice and moist. The slither of pear in there as well is lovely. Lovely sauce, very sticky. You've almost got like a burnt sauciness to it. I'm really, really happy with that.
It's quite dense and very, very firm, but inside there, it's lots and lots of cinnamon, nutmeg, ground ginger, and the pecan nut with the pear across the top. They work very nicely. The juice of the pear going with the ginger and refreshing the palate. Love the leaves, love all the work. I'm really, really impressed that you can get so much done and deliver a plate that looks like this.
You say your husband has a viciously sweet tooth?
Yes.
Well, the man clearly lives like a king at your house. I just think that's extraordinary. What worried me was that it was like 2 pages of a recipe book glued together. But what you have created is something quite different, but I don't feel shortchanged. It's amazing.
For goodness sake, Grace, a really renowned restaurant critique, telling you that you've done a good job. What else you want? It's brilliant.
Steph's dessert is a sticky toffee pudding with miso caramel sauce, poached apples, and a vanilla custard.
It's beautifully presented with only a couple of things on a plate. Looks great. Steph, I've got to say, your textures are fantastic. The outside of that pudding is a little bit squidgy, as it should be, and inside it's really, really light. But I like some more apples because your sticky toffee pudding is very sweet. Your custard is also quite sweet. So the apples sort of gave me a little bit of respite. They sort of refreshed my palate a little bit.
I would like some more apple too. It's so sharp. There's something really incredible about that, though. You've almost taken it to the level of pickled onion. I don't know how you've done that. I think the sauce is fantastic. For me, that's just wonderful. That is exactly how it should be.
The miso into the toffee sauce is a very clever idea. That almost salty kind of yeastiness, I think, works really, really well. The custard, I find a little bit too sweet, a little heavy-handed with the sugar. I, like the other two, want more of that apple.
It was quite sweet, but I'm annoyed I didn't put enough apple on, which I did think about, and then it just completely went out of my mind, so I'm kicking myself for that, but we'll just see how it goes.
Finally, it's Tom, who has also done a take on a sticky toffee pudding. Served with a tamarind and black pepper sauce, a salted peanut tuile, and a toasted rice ice cream.
This looks incredible. I don't know whether to eat it or put it on my head and wear it to Ascot. It looks like an amazing Ladies' Day creation. Tom, I really like this. You made a very classic sticky toffee pudding. However, there's black pepper in that sauce, not too much. That taste of tamarind that keeps on coming through. It is sweet and it is savoury, but in exactly the right proportions for me. It's really, really imaginative, and I've not tasted anything like it.
Tamarind and black pepper in a caramel sauce. When you take it with that very, very light and well-made pudding, and then the ice cream, which is very cooling and refreshing, it is really comforting. I think it's absolutely perfect.
Thanks.
I really like it, Tom.
Your sponge is really well made. It's light, and it's just got a bit of a crispy outside. Your tuile is a little bit like sweet and salty popcorn. Your ice cream is buttery smooth, and it tastes to me a little bit like toast and butter because of that burnt rice. I really like that. Before you started, me and John wondered how you were going to get some Asian flavour into a traditional British pud. You've done it, and you've done it brilliantly well.
I think I really took a risk with that dish. Grace, the fact that she likes it, I'm just like, mind blown.
Grace, I have to say, a fantastic brief, and I think they worked with it really hard.
I've been here a few times, and it has sometimes been awkward. People haven't delivered on the day, but they all did deliver on the day.
Is there anyone who's worthy of an extra note, an extra star in their book?
I think Tom's very, very good. He made something I've never tasted its like. He needs to copyright that recipe.
Grace, thank you very much indeed. Lovely to see you.
See you later.
We wanted great British puddings, and we got great British puddings.
This is really difficult. What do you do when 4 people cook really well and you've only got 2 places in the semi-final?
Grace said her pick of the day was Tom. I think Tom's was extra extraordinary. The concept of the dish in itself, taking a classic sticky toffee pudding, making a sauce with tamarind and black pepper, and then doing an ice cream made from roasted rice. I gotta say, I was really impressed.
It looked extraordinary. It was almost majestic. Tom is a semi-finalist. We have got to make the biggest decision in the competition so far. I really like Laura's crumble. She basically made a crumble sandwich, and it was very smart. I thought that was very, very good work indeed.
The thing that really got me were those pickled plums. There was something very refreshing about the whole thing. Really delicious and very elegant.
Madiha is an exceptional cook. There aren't many people that can take basically a slice of cake and elevate it to a super pud. She is incredible, and the workload is extraordinary.
It was big, it was bold, I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Steph made us a sticky toffee pudding and she made a perfectly light sponge. Really like the toffee sauce that she'd made. It's classic and she did it very, very well.
On the side, 2 little bits of Bramley apple. I wanted more of that apple for the relief from the sweetness. We have got a decision to be made here. We have just 2 semi-final places.
It would be amazing to get a place in the semi-finals. Absolutely amazing. I don't think I would stop screaming for 24 hours at least.
Such a high calibre of chefs in the kitchen today. Everyone, deserves to go through.
I hope I live another day to fight another day. That's what I would say. I'm a bit desperate now.
We're absolutely delighted with the way you cooked today. It was fantastic, which makes this decision so, so difficult. Our first semi-finalist is Tom.
Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant, Tom. You should be very, very proud of yourself. The first person leaving us Steph. What can I say? You had a brilliant competition. Thank you very much indeed.
Obviously feels really sad to be going home today, but the feedback on my dish really was amazing. It just came down to everyone just pipping me at the post kind of thing.
Madiha, Laura, you both cooked really, really well. We have made a decision. We've decided you are both semi-finalists. You're too good to send home.
I can't believe it. I never thought they were going to say that there. I'm a MasterChef semi-finalist. How did that happen?
It's great. It feels great. It's the adrenaline rushing up and down. Wow. Wow.
It's been a wild ride so far. Still in shock, but yeah, I'm over the moon.
Next time, 5 more contestants cook for the right to wear a MasterChef apron.
I'm okay, I think.
Boom, boom. That's really good.
Before battling for a place in the quarter-final.
Do I look red? Do I look on fire?